Carl Carvalho, Cranford, New Jersey. I'll give you a little background about myself. None of you know me or might have heard of me. I've been a Union County resident for 52 years, okay, in Cranford for 50 years. I've hunted since a child. I've hunted for 62 years with a gun, 60 years with a bow. I also participated in the Union County deer program since its beginning in 1994, and also in the Essex County Deer Reduction Program. In 1999, at the request of a Division of Fish and Wildlife game biologist, I was requested to start my own business in deer management, which I did. I incorporated in 1999, and I shot with 6 municipalities. Mountain Lakes, Millburn, Summit, Babora, Watchung, Bridgewater, and Berners Township. Using shotgun only under the community-based deer management program, which in my opinion is the most efficient way to reduce the deer population in an efficient and quick manner. Since I said I was a bow hunter for years, bow hunting it's a good sport. I like bow hunting, but it's a sport, okay? It's not efficient in reducing the deer population. Many of the communities I worked with, they requested I use bow, and I said no. It's not cost effective, and it's not effective in the numbers for a couple reasons. When you're shooting shotgun, we're classified by the state as professional sharpshooters, okay? I was the only one in the state, my company, that allowed the state allowed to use 5 shots in our shotguns instead of 3. Nobody else has been allowed to do that. The difference between shooting with a gun and shooting with a bow is that shooting with a gun, we're shooting a slug that travels at 14 to 18 feet per second, and with 2,300 pounds of energy. The deer, in most cases, 99% drop right where they're in their tracks, okay? And an arrow, even with today's crossbows, the fastest bow today, the arrows travel at 440 feet with only 66 feet of energy compared to 2,300 with a slug. In the 24 years of the Union County Deer Program, there hasn't been one issue of any safety or otherwise. In my 10 years, there was never one issue of safety or otherwise. My concern about bow hunting is threefold. Number one, the deer don't drop like they do with shotguns. The state allows bow hunters to shoot within 50 yards of a home. When a deer shot with an arrow, it could drop right where it is, it could run 10 yards, it could run hundreds of yards. It will take a wounded deer approximately 3 to 4 seconds to make it to a backyard in 50 yards. I've experienced in other towns that adopted bow hunting, and they had the same problem. That's one problem. Number two is it's not going to reduce the deer population in a timely manner like it has done with a shotgun. A deer with a bow, you might be able to shoot maybe 1, maybe 2, or maybe more, because they have to be reported. Also with a compound, you have to cock the bow. It takes a long time. With a shotgun, I'm speaking for myself, I shot many times 14 deer in one session, 10, 8. I had one fellow that shot for me, he beat me out with 18 deer in one session, and that was in Cranford. Okay. My other concern is with the deer running and landing up in people's backyards. And believe me, you will make the Channel 7 news at 6 o'clock when that happens. It's a public nightmare. My other concern concerning bow hunting is you're allowing the use of ladder stands, and these hunters, I call them hunters, they're not professional sharpshooters, they're hunters. These hunters are allowed to keep their stands in the woods. Now, when I shot in all these communities and all these parks, I believe there's 5 or 7 in Union County and all these other communities, the woods are full of children. Those tree stands are going to be magnets to children. I would like Union County to explain to a parent when his child falls off one of these tree stands that was left in the woods and breaks his legs or arms. In order to reduce the deer population, which the young ladies who spoke before me, effectively, is with shotguns under the community-based deer management program, which we have special rules that allow us to kill.
Thank you very much for your comments, Mr. Carvalho.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much for your comment.
Anyone else from the public wishing to